Hello, this is Pastor Greg Ely doing the Money Devotional, coming to you from on the go. It's Monday morning, and the truck doesn't stop, so we're headed into the office. My plan was to be in the office before I got started, and there's an accident on the freeway, and so now we find ourselves in an abandoned parking lot doing the Q&A and devotion for Monday morning. So thank you all for watching. Hey, Brother Ted, good to see you this morning. Thank you all for chiming in. Uncle Robert, Bernadine, Melanie, glad you all are here. As I said, if you're just chiming in, I planned to be in the office by now, but there was an accident on the freeway, so I'm having to do my devotion from an abandoned parking lot. So we will be short today. Hey, Hank KK, how you doing? Well, first of all, I want to ask if anybody had any questions about the sermon on yesterday. We want to provide an opportunity for anyone to ask any questions. We talked about the triumphal entry. We're walking through the book of John, and yesterday we were in John chapter 12, verse 12 through 19. And we learned that we have to be obedient to God's commands. We have to sing praises for his purpose. And we also have to understand that when you stand for God, that you will invite in his adversaries. You know, that passage at the end of chapter 12, the parallel passage of that is Luke chapter 19, where Jesus comes in riding on a donkey, and the disciples are yelling, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. And the Pharisees basically tell them to stop saying that, to shut up. And we have to understand, as we are Christians in a nation that is constantly telling us as believers that we need to shut up. We have to determine that if we decide to shut up, then God will allow the rocks to cry out in our name. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to lose my starting spot. I don't want rocks to cry out for me. I don't want trees to worship for me. I don't want mountains to shout out glory for me. I don't want the stars in the sky to worship for me. They already do that. But because I am God's crowning glory and his crowning creation, I want God to receive praises from me, from my mouth, from my worship, from my love for him, because he's done too much for me to let rocks cry out for me. He's blessed me too much for me to allow trees to worship for me. He's done too much for me to allow creation to root for me. And we talked about how there's this belief called pantheism, where they believe that creation is God. We believe that God created creation, but creation is not God. And the Bible says the rocks will cry out. So if creation was God, then why would creation cry out worship to the God who created them? You understand? So the creation cannot be God, because creation is telling you God created me. The rocks are saying, no, don't worship me. I worship God. The trees are saying, don't worship me. I worship God. The mountains are saying, don't worship me. I worship God. The stars are saying, don't worship me. I worship God. And the season that we're in, the situation we find ourselves in, the day we find ourselves in, where it seems like we're worshiping causes, we're worshiping flags, we're worshiping nations, we're worshiping buildings, we're worshiping all these different things. And all these things, if they had an opportunity to speak up, they would tell you, don't worship me, because I worship God. God is my creator. God is my sustainer. God is my provider. God is the one who gave me life. God is the one who gave me voice. God is the one who gave me opportunity. So in that regard, I have no way and no reason to be worshiped because I am a worshiper of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we talked about how, Jesus rode in on a donkey because even though he has all power, he is still the God of peace, an all powerful God who understands how to have peace under control. That's an example for us. So many of us have power today. We have power in our political offices. We have power in our government offices. We have power in our marketplace offices. And so many times we use that power to overstep the bounds and understand and try to use it as influence. But what God shows us in this triumphal entry is that Jesus, who rose early with all power in his hand, comes on a horse of peace. He says, you know what? I could come in and wipe everybody out if I want to. I can come in and knock everybody out if I want to. But rather than show my power because I have to prove myself, which is a sign of insecurity, I'm going to show you my peace. I'm going to walk in with my mouth closed. I'm going to walk in on a donkey. I'm going to walk in as one who can show you what it looks like to have the ability to knock the walls down, but decide to walk in peace. And I think that's a message for us today. So many people are trying to use their power to overthrow and overcome and beat down. But this is an opportunity for us to show the world as the church that we have power and we have access to all existing, everlasting, unbreakable power. But in light of that, we decide to walk in peace because we serve the God of peace. And I'm going to leave you with that today. God bless you. We love you. And I got to get out of this abandoned parking lot before some truck drives up beside me. God bless you all. Love y'all. Peace.